Here's what we're going to do. We're going to just go rapid fire, have you all answer as many questions as we can that we've gotten before the conference. Again, I'm going to just leave this text number up for a little bit here, and then I'm going to just kind of take that away and let you all wrap up. So Derron, speed, and the Queen, it's all yours.
And the Queen. Okay, here, we're going to take as many as we can. We'll try to bullet. Yep. Rapid fire as rapid as we can be.
Yeah. Good luck on that.
Okay. So first question, and we just heard from the Illinois Broadcast Association. This question came from Illinois. What's your best advice for those of us who are just starting in sales?
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You want it?
Well, yeah, sure. Okay.
Well, we're also good starting.
Yeah.
You know.
No, you do it.
Hot potato. That question brings up 1,000 answers, but if you've ever tried to climb one of those rope nets at carnivals and stuff like that, have you ever gotten that? Doesn't look hard. I can do that. Anybody can do that. And then you get on that stupid thing and it begins to do this and this. And the higher you go, and you fall off. Suddenly it spins and you're down. Being in sales and new to it is going to feel a lot like that.
Yep.
And you see somebody who's done it a lot and how they can just hit that thing and then climb all the way. And like, how do they do that? So don't worry about that you're wobbling. Don't worry that you fall off. Get back up, keep going. Look at those around you who are doing well with it and pick up what they're doing. Ask for advice. Ask questions. How are you doing it? What can I be doing better? The more questions you ask, the smarter you get, and the more you keep getting back up and taking another run at it, the better you'll get every day. Don't give up when it starts going wrong, because it will.
It will go wrong. Yeah. You know what? And that really kind of shoots right into what my suggestion would be. And that is, look, the first thing we're going to teach you over and over and over again is to do a needs analysis. Don't guess, ask, sit down with the customer, find out what their pain points are. What are they trying to achieve? How can we help them achieve it? Your assignment. The very first thing you do is sit down with your boss, who, by the way, is also your first customer, right? They made the decision. They had to go to their boss. They had to get permission to spend money, return on investment, right? There isn't much of one in those early days. So what you want to say is, what do you need from me? What should I be doing? Who should I be mentoring with? What should I be reading? Who should I not be mentoring with? That sort of thing. Do that and refer back to it often. You're going to be highly successful. They're going to give you a blueprint for success.
Ditto. I would just share this. Don't make the mistake of making it about you. Okay. As much as we get into sales and we have an ego, we think people, they want to buy us. No. You got to make it about them. Okay. It's got to be about them and their needs and not what you're trying to sell. No one wants to buy advertising. Everyone needs customers. Focus on the customers, not on the advertising. Make it about them, and you'll get off to a good start.
Yep. You're fair. So clever.
Okay. You like that?
I like
okay.
That. So clever.
Question here from Wisconsin. What's the most important question you should ask when doing a CNA? Yeah, I'll start. I've got one. Okay. And this is
the most important.
Well, it's honestly, it's my go-to. And those of you who've been with me, you've heard this before, but this is the question you've got to ask in your CNA. You got to ask it at least once a year to every client you have. If you go out and ask this question, you'll get information you've never gotten and probably that your competition doesn't have. Are you if I piqued your interest?
I know what this one is.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's something about your business you think everyone should know, but they don't? Okay. That question has to be a part of your arsenal for everything you do. What's something about your business you think everyone should know about you, but they don't? Every business has it. I had a salesperson recently tell me, said, 2 out of 5 times that I asked that question, I'm not getting an answer. I said, so 60% of the time you're getting some good stuff. And she said, oh, yeah. So that's my that's my question. So
you know what? I believe in at least a minimum of a frequency of 3. Will you say that one more time?
Yeah. Okay. What's something about your business you think everyone should know, but they don't? And I would even frame it up like this. Last night I was on the back porch, or I was mowing the yard, or I was out walking. I was thinking about you and your business. You've been doing this a long time. You've been in the same location. Is there anything about this place you feel like everyone ought to know, but they don't? That's me expanding on the question. But the question is, what's something about your business you feel like everyone ought to know, but they don't? Experience has shown every business has one.
You know what? I am going to really, in the sake of time, and because I can't think of a better one, I'm going to go with that one as well.
Okay.
Okay. Well, the one my go-to is actually quite closely related to yours.
Good,
the one that all my CNA questions lead to. I don't always start with it, but eventually lead to this. What's the most important thing consumers need to know about your business today. Because that cuts
Variations.
out all the,
Yeah, yeah.
it cuts out all the, well, we're family owned and operated.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
cares, but all the.
Business for 37 years.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
the largest distribution, like I'm gonna come in and buy 5 cars instead of just one. So it cuts to the core. What's the most important thing they need to know today? And that's gonna be the kernel that for your creative for that month.
Love it. Love it. Okay. I'm gonna ask this one. You all be thinking, and Brian, look, you're one of the best at this. So let me get you to chime in. This came from Kansas. What are some of your cold call or cold email best practices? Salts?
Yeah, that's a great question. Way to catch me off guard here.
Sorry.
So I love
I
it
know you're good at
right
it.
as I'm switching screens. So perfect timing here. But great question. Listen, when it comes to cold emailing, I'm a big believer of at least sending a first email before kind of cold calling or showing up. I typically my first email is very salesy, right? Not too salesy, but short to the point. Here's who I am. Here's what we do. You may have heard us, or yada yada, right? Just short and to the point. Knowing they're not going to stink and open it. They're not going to open it, right? They're just not. They're busy. You've gone to spam or whatever. My second email, I'm not trying to be pushy or anything like that. My second email is not all that, maybe a week later. And this goes phone and email, right? My second follow-up is, you know what? I don't mean to be too much of a pest, but I did want to follow up to see if you got my email regarding X, Y, and Z.
Yep.
I know you're busy, or I know I dropped to the bottom of your email box, or I went to spam or whatever. I feel like when you do that second email, it shows that you're a human. Mm-hmm. I think that first email is the setup to get in the inbox, but it's that follow-up that says, hey, listen, we all get bombarded with emails or phone calls. I just want to follow up and you have to be real, right? You can't just put, you don't want to just spam the heck out of them and copy paste, drop a little something that shows that you care, that you're listening. But I think that second follow-up to me, the responses that I typically get back are, I'm so sorry, I've had a busy week, or some people are just not going to respond, right? That happens. But hey, I'm so sorry, it's been a busy week, or this came up, and or no, I'm not interested. But at least they're responding,
Yep.
And that's fine. Then the second part of that, right? Time and time again. Hey, I'm not interested. That's cool. Or you know what? I'm swamped until next month. You better, gosh darn, put that in your calendar to follow up with them 30 days later, because you're building that relationship from day one. So go back 30 days and say, hey, you told me 30 days ago to follow up with you. I'm just doing that. Because at that point in time, it's showing that you're going to deliver upon the promise that you first said. Whether they want you to call back or not, keep your word. So and I would say there's variations on that, phone and email. To me, I'm a tech guy. I love to send an email. Sometimes it's too easy to send an email, so it does take a phone call, but a combination of that, or live in person. So a combination of something like that.
There's a reason now why we have to check that we're not a robot. And we were just talking about this earlier. Every time I open up my phone anymore, I've got somebody trying to sell me list regeneration. And it's, or, you know what? I just looked at your site. It looks great. By the way, we got about 5 improvements we'd like to make. Give us a call.
Looks great, but
yeah. What a great way to start the relationship. Yeah. Your baby really is. There's no upside to that. Make it personal. One thing that Brian used to always put in his that I thought was always great, and I stole it from him, is he would say there's a fine line between pest and persistence, and hopefully I'm not crossing that line. I was amazed how many times people call back and say, no, you're not being a pest. They almost feel bad for not returning the call.
Brandeis?
First of all, since COVID hit, everyone is being crushed under email and voicemail. Mm-hmm. So if your email or voicemail sounds exactly like everybody else's, well, then you don't deserve to get.
Yeah, exactly.
That's fair.
And frankly, they all do sound alike because people don't know what to say. So I am always emphasizing, if you're going to reach out, email or voicemail, hey, this is me, blah, blah, blah. I'm reaching out because, and then something about them. I'm reaching out because I see that you're starting your spring Kawasaki sales event. I'm reaching out because it's lawn and garden season and I see that you guys are doing this. And that's all, whatever they're doing or trying to sell at the moment is almost always on the homepage of their website. So it's like, where was Google when I first started selling? You know what they're trying to do, it's right there because it's home improvement season. If I can follow it with some kind of little piece of research that has something to do with my business that applies, say the swimming school. I work with Urban One, right? So there's a swimming school. I see that you're kicking up for getting kids ready to swim for the summer. Did you know that 71% of African Americans don't know how to swim? And they're like, oh, I had no idea. I'd like to set up a brief appointment with you. How's Tuesday at 2:15 to discuss reaching people? How's Tuesday at 2:15? The other thing about the email, keep it short. You're not trying to sell your station, TV or radio in the email. You just want them to reach out and give you the appointment.
Yep. Great information. Let's go on to another question. This question comes from Kentucky, and I think it's a good one. Why do we as an industry allow the digital world to tell the story that we aren't equals to them, when in fact, we are both us and them? The digital space can't capitalize on the assets of broadcast, but broadcasters can capitalize on the advantages of digital. I think that's a great question. And we have clearly given up the mountaintop at times and not rightfully so.
Yeah.
Thoughts?
I fully agree. First of all, shame on us for allowing them to position us. I mean, come on. Let us tell your own story. The way I look at it is if you have to have a media mix. We've always had to have a media mix. Digital is just the latest version of that, and they do an awesome job. But they're not in the reach business. We are. We are I said it yesterday 100 times, eyes, ears, and voice of the communities that we serve. Let us start the conversation in the community, right? We're gonna go big picture, start the conversation, then use digital to fill in the gaps, to take it more granular, to have a more personalized conversation with those folks. It works beautifully together, but you've got to start that conversation. Don't let them hear it from you or from them, hear it from you.
Listen, honestly, broadcasting got into the digital game late and was slow to get in, everybody watching to see if somebody else was going to do it better. And we could just learn from their mistakes. If you've never been lied about as a person, working school, office, I don't know what planet you've been on, because we've all had somebody who did not have our best interests at heart, who told things about us that were not true. Now, if you go and hide away, that becomes the story of you. So usually what happens is the people who know you know better. So you get to know more people and you stay your authentic self and people get to see the truth. And the same is true in selling our digital method. You've got to get out there and let people see what we do, show what we do, have success stories on what you've done, introduce what we can do to people, even if they don't buy it today, so that as they get to know you and our stations, they see the truth of who we are and what we can do. But you can't shrink back and let the people lying about us tell the whole story. You got to get out there and show it off.
We are allowing Google reps to come into our towns and take our money, and they have no right to. Okay, hear me. There is nothing out there that's creating recall and building brands better today than broadcast radio and television. Okay, it starts with us.
Right.
Period. Now here's the thing. We now have the ability to tie in all the digital to make it sense. Before we broadcasters, we're really, I mean, we're driving the reach, we're reaching a ton of people, and now we can be more targeted than ever. Well, okay, hold on. I've done this before. I'm gonna do it again. Give me just a second.
He's gone off his nut again.
Give me just a second. I want you to think about this. If this is my yard, okay, and I mow my yard, and my house sets up here, and my driveway comes in here and circles back behind the house. Okay. My house is okay. My house is okay. So think about this as it relates to the question.
Okay.
If my wife and I have about 5 acres and I mow a lot of it. So I'm going to go out when I want to take care of my yard. I'm going to get on my 61-inch zero-turn lawnmower and I'm going to start mowing. Okay. Okay. It's gas powered, not like Speed's electric lawnmower he's got on. Okay. I'm going to take care of the majority of my property with my 61-inch zero-turn lawnmower. Okay. I've always been able to do that. But down here in this part of my yard, I've got a lot of trees. See, my 61-inch can't get in here. Okay, so I have to be more targeted. You know what? My weed eater will take care of this targeted area. Up here behind my house, I've got an area that I can't get my riding lawnmower in. So I have to push mow this because I need to be more targeted.
I got an Easy Go electric mower.
Yes, you're
All right,
out of
you
luck.
can borrow
Okay?
that one.
On this side of my property over here, okay? This side over here, I've got an area that for whatever reason, it doesn't want to, I can't get a lot of grass to grow. So I can come in here and I can target just this perimeter right here, and I can power seed this ever so often, and I'll get more grass to grow. See, whether it's geofencing, whether it's targeted ads, we can be more targeted than we've ever been. But it starts with the lawnmower.
Yep.
Broadcast radio and television, we're the lawnmower. But what we're doing is we're allowing people to come into our markets and convince them that they can cover the whole market with a flipping weed eater or a flipping, in Speed's case, electric push mower. Okay, we're the one that drive the reach. We're the one covering the majority of the market. But we can now be targeted in a manner that we've never been able to do. So when we take this message to our clients and let them know that we can cover the market for them like no one else, no one should be able to come in with a weed eater and convince them that they can cover the whole market, because it just cannot happen. Sorry, guys. Yeah, okay.
By the way,
Okay.
this picture is available for.
Yeah. If you would like my
Your NFT,
Yeah.
we'll sell NFTs.
Yeah.
On our side.
Okay. All right. Okay. So enough of that. Anything to add?
No, I think
Okay.
that was golden.
Next question comes from Virginia. How can I do a better job of successfully communicating how important a radio package is for my client?
Oh, I don't like the way that's worded.
Okay. I understand the question, but
Yeah, I think it's the question that leads to more question. Well, first of all, is it?
Yeah.
You know, very often a package, it's cut and paste, and your clients are unique businesses, unique individuals. So how can you establish that this is better for them or this is what they need? It probably isn't. Now, if you're doing an event or something like that, yeah, package is great. It's got limited response to it.
Flexibility.
But, you know, it's usually for a pretty limited price and it's a limited time. However, you want to customize the advertising campaign to the client. That's what works.
Hey, can I play off this?
yes.
Okay, so this is really interesting because I just got a question about this. So we've gone through the last 2 days, day and a half, right? On becoming a consultant rather than a seller. But Friday morning, my sales manager is going to post up 3 packages, promotions du jour for next week. How do we maintain what we just learned if we're back to the same old tomorrow? I just wanted to play off that last question.
Okay. It's a really good question. And there's a place for packages.
There is.
Okay. There's never going to be a time in our industry that we don't have an opportunity for packages. We come out of Christmas when all the Christmas stuff, and you know, Speed and I've talked about it on Speed and Swagger over the course of the last few months. We become holiday hypocrites. We spend all year long saying it's about you, it's needs-based, it's problem solving, and then we roll out the package.
Yep.
So specifically to this question, with the 3 that are coming out Friday, the more packages that we have and the more often that we release them, the less effective they are. Okay. Now, I guess I would share this finally, and I'll throw it to you all. When you have a package, if your manager's saying, here our package, go sell them, go push them, I would encourage you to not go in and say, here's all the things that we've got going on. I would encourage you to go in and say, you know, I was thinking about you, a conversation that we had a few weeks ago triggered, this might be something that would interest you and might really help accomplish some of the things that we discussed. Now, all of a sudden, it is a package, but you're presenting it in a manner that it feels a little more personalized. And have the sales manager call me. So.
Well, look, you're going to be doing a lot of prospecting, or you should be doing a lot of prospecting anyway. So I would divide up which prospects look like they're going to buy a package and move on, because they're just never going to be those long-term clients. And which ones can you set aside and say, this is someone that I'd like to sell long-term, have for a long time. And so you sell them something customized. I guarantee if you sell a customized campaign for the long-term, your sales manager is not going to say, no, we're not taking that, and tell them we've canceled it. And as you do more of those, you don't need to sell as many of the packages, but sell the packages to the people who the packages would work for. Don't sell them to the people who need better.
Yeah, and another way to look at this too is you could use this to expand their brand. If you've already done a needs analysis, you've already put together a 13-week, 26, 52-week program, but you want to beef up from time to time their frequency, use a package. Say, look, I can add this in. It's a great program. It's a lower price point than we normally have because it's a package, and you could add that in to increase frequency, but don't lead with it. And call Derron.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's I get it. We have become a package dependent industry at times, and it's I think as you've heard every presenter today discuss, it's got to be more customized. Okay, hang with us. We're going to go to about the bottom of the hour. As we get close to the bottom, we're going to take a couple more questions. We're going to give you some specific information as it relates to 10-Minute Trainer Network. And with our launch, official launch on Monday, we'll give you just a little bit more information because we want you all to have access, because it's been a long time. I think I can speak for Speed and Brian and the whole team that we've been as excited about offering something that we've got coming your way that we really feel like is going to be impactful. Guys, here's one that I think as an industry, we're probably all over the place with. This comes from Tennessee. What is the optimum number of accounts to call on for a full-time salesperson in radio or television?
That's loaded.
Yeah, it is.
That's loaded.
That's a loaded.
That's a loaded question.
I mean, I've got a full 45-minute session on P1 that's going to be on the site that goes through that exact process.
We don't have time.
It's not that's what I mean. It's not a short answer, but to kind of give you a little bit is I look at an account list and I kind of put it into varying degrees that you have key accounts, target accounts, secondary accounts, and extra. I didn't make that up. That came from strategic selling that was written by Miller and Hyman years ago. And basically what it comes down to is key account, that's the 80-20 rule. 80% of the revenue comes from 20% of the accounts, right? Y'all know them. It's the big boys in town, right? It's car dealerships, it's all those guys. There's only a finite number of those. And of the finite number of those, you probably only have a finite number of the big picture. So let's say you got 3 of them, right? So secondary, all right? So you got key accounts, primary, secondary, and extra. The secondary accounts, those are folks who are just going to be on from time to time. But the target accounts, which is, I just screwed that up. The target account is actually the on deck circle to be a key account. They've got the wherewithal. They've got, they're probably somebody else's key account. They're spending that money in another medium across the street. So with that, you can't have a bunch of those because it's target. It's going to take time to really do the research, to do the needs analysis. So let's say you got 8 of those. And then the secondary accounts, that one really is the folks who are on from time to time. They're move up opportunities. You can have as many of those as you want. And then the extras, those are the business cards in the bottom of your briefcase that you promised you would talk to last year. With those, you can have as many as you want as well. But basically, if you actually do the math on that, you're talking probably 50, 60 accounts top in. And I know the veterans on the team are screaming and throwing stuff right now for me even saying that out loud. But really what it comes down to is if I have 200 accounts on my account list, are they really my accounts or are they just words that are written somewhere in the ether?
Thoughts?
I agree with Speed. You can only actually truly manage so many accounts every 30 days, and you need to see people, build the relationships. So he's right in this. And if you've got, 107 accounts, you're not managing those accounts. No. Not truly. So as you're building your account list, there's a certain point, people get too many accounts because they're getting too little money, and you don't want to sleep in your car and live on cat food. So which some people have done, not me. But then you say, well, I got to sell more accounts. And then you start losing people off the top, So you grow the ones that are good, those target accounts that can become key accounts.
Yep.
Keep investing in those people. You may have fewer accounts in the end, but you can really manage them. And you keep upselling and growing those business. But it means you have to take track of the ROI. Are they getting the results, and pay attention to how it's working?
Yep.
You go with the dry cat food or the wet?
The wet gets messy and smelly, so absolutely the dry cat.
So absolutely.
Do you all mind if I go to the
board?
Okay. All right. One more time. My last time today.
Again, this artwork is available.
Yeah, the artwork is available. So here's what I would might would offer up is this, and managers out there are going to think I'm crazy. I think it's up to the salesperson how many accounts they want to call on. Ooh, that's dangerous, isn't it?
Sure.
Okay. So think about this. There are way too many account lists in radio that are 100 or more. Can we agree with that?
Sure.
Television, there was 30 to 50. So let's look at something. So let's say radio, there's an account list out there that's got 100 accounts on it. Okay.
Yep.
So let's apply some metrics to this. Let's say that 34 of them you're going to see weekly. And I know you're going to say, I don't need to see them that often. I would argue that a third of your list, you probably do. Then we're going to say there's 33 that you're going to see twice a month. Okay. All right. Then there's going to be another 33 that you're only going to see one time a month. All right. So now hang with me. Check. So 34 times 4 is 132. 33 accounts twice a month is 66. And then the 33, and I think that comes out to like 231, if my math is right. So now look at this. If then you take, so that's 231 total monthly visits on an account list of 100. Now let's divide that and let's look at what that looks like per week. Then that comes down to, I think, like, and I've got, it comes out to like 57.5 visits a week, and that's 11.5 or something a day. So if you're not willing to say, I'm going to see at least 11 accounts every day, there's no way you need 100 accounts. Okay.
And that doesn't even count that you're not prospecting anybody new.
That's exactly right.
Plus, if you look at how deep into a conversation can you get with somebody if you're living in Houston, Texas, if you have to do 11 of these a day? When you're how long does it take to get from?
It takes about an hour to drive from Houston to Houston.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So here's I'll quit after this, but this is kind of important. So let's go to the 50. So it's television or it's a radio list at 50. Then let's say you're going to see 20 of the accounts every week, 20 of them twice a month, and 10 weekly. That's 130 total monthly visits, which means you've got to see 32 and a half accounts a week, which is 6.5 accounts a day. If you're not willing to see 6.5 to 7 accounts a day, you don't need an account list of 50. Now, here's the scary part that I think you all will agree with me on. There are too many examples out there, I fear, to where we've got people with account lists of 100 or more that aren't seeing at least 6.5 people a day.
Absolutely.
So it's impossible to manage. But I think the salesperson should have some input on how many accounts they should handle based on the amount of activity they're willing to drive.
Well, and that's a good point. It's like, okay, you make the call how many you can handle, but this is the requirement. This is what I need from you to maintain that account. Can you do it? If you can, go for it.
Yeah.
Gosh, we could keep going. Brian?
No, I'm going to play off this a little bit because this one's tough. And actually, this person just chimed in again, right? So again, I'm going to try to take specifics out here, but right, two people sell. Two people sell for, say, 6 stations, right? The boss wants them to have 300 clients. Yeah. The boss has, 600 clients, 500 clients. Yeah. What do they do? Do they say, I only need 100? What do they do when it's just 2 people? It's tough. It's a tough scenario.
It is a tough scenario.
Queen?
Oh, well, they're not going to like me for this.
Yeah.
Talk about your boss. Listen, there is reality, and you have to live in the reality, even if the boss isn't. You do what you can do that makes sense to you, makes money, get the bigger accounts. Hey, listen, if I've only got 50 accounts and I'm maximizing those accounts, and then I still want to see my kid at night and get, 7 hours of sleep, whatever, you got one life to go through. You do that. At some point, I keep looking at Brian, sorry. At some point, the boss is going to realize he needs to hire more people. If he wants 300 accounts, you can't have two people do it. Yeah. And the 2 people should not take on something that is not realistic and going to cause them to burn out. You do the best you can at what you can do and what is right for you and your clients. And if they need 300 people, they hire another person.
You talked about the +1 earlier, Speed. I mean, so cut down the clients, but then add that +1. So you're not just because you're going to give up 300, you're going to pare it down to 150, you could still get that revenue back from that 150
Yes.
plus one.
Yeah, if you're actually working your own list deeper, these are folks who already have great relationships with you. They're already purchasing. They're already showing that they've got the wherewithal and they understand marketing. So yeah, add another product line in there. Maybe it's another station. Maybe it's a digital asset, something else that you could add in there. They're going to be more successful and you're going to be pulling in more revenue. I think if you look at key, target, secondary, and extra, you look at what actually all of us said and just operate within this 300. Okay, I got 300 on my list, but you quietly work it within there and your boss is going to be very impressed with how well you're actually producing, not on all 300, but I'm guaranteeing you're not doing well on all 300 right now. And if you are, please call me.
I would guess I would probably go try to have a conversation with that boss and say, do you want me to try to sell 300 accounts one time or 50 or 60 12 months a year?
Yep.
I can't focus on annuals and doing this the right way if I'm trying to juggle 300 accounts.
If this is the same boss, he already has Derron's number.
That's right. And now they'll have mine and call and yell at me.
I wish we had more time. I'd love to share with you my Amp It Up initiative that really ties into this. If you want to email me, I'll be happy to share it with you. swaggerinstitute@gmail.com.
And by the way, I look forward to your boss's letter.
Yeah.
I know it's coming.
Here's what we always vow to do as we're getting close to the bottom of the hour, and I want to give you information on 10-Minute Trainer Network. We always vow to come to you with solutions to the things that you all are dealing with. And if that means we've got to say we're not sure we agree with the way your boss is handling that, then honestly, we're going to give you our opinion. We're all broadcasters, and we love the industry. We're all sellers. We know what you're dealing with, what you're going through. We're all managers. We understand what
we understand your boss's point of view too. I mean, we understand what's going on in his or her life.
We do. So and I'll give everybody a final thought, and I want everybody to come up here real quick and to get the whole group in if we can. This has been a day and a half crammed full of more content than you probably could imagine. Speed and I kicked it off yesterday with Jack Palance saying, "What's that one thing?"
Yeah.
And Billy Crystal said, "What's the one thing?" And he said,
"The finger."
He said, "That's for you to figure out. If you haven't watched City Slickers, Billy Crystal figured out that his one thing was his family. I think what Jack Palance was saying was the one thing is different for everyone.
For virtually everyone here. We have literally thousands of folks that have attended over the past day and a half in our industry that we love. And what's cool is every one of you have that different one thing. And hopefully you hit on that over the next day and a half as well. I said this morning, I really believe it. Unless it's highly personal and it's nobody else's stinking business, I would really recommend that the next time you all get together in a sales meeting, you gather around your conference table. And as soon as you get through talking about avails and missing copy, talk about your one thing. Yeah. Talk about what it is you really want to achieve, that you really want to focus on for the rest of this year. Because we spend 52 weeks a year getting all tied up in knots. And once a year, we come out here and we try to help you out a little bit. Another thing we've talked about a lot, I'll throw this one out, is that we've every year since we started doing this, we say, well, we'll do it one time. Okay, we'll come back, we'll do it one more time. And then as I said, we started talking about it, started becoming a bit of a habit. It started becoming a tradition. And we have seen more response from you this year than we've ever seen before. And that's amazing. I think we're going to keep doing it.
I think based on the feedback we're getting from you, and we encourage you to continue to reach out and give us your feedback.